Did you know that there are 8 kinds of bears in the world? How many of those can you name? I love animals, and one of my favorite animals are bears. I have a book that I read to my kids called God Gave Us the World, and in it there are 5 different kinds of bears. I'd like to read this to you in just a few minutes, but let's start with learning about the 8 different species of bears in our world. The first is the North American black bear. This is the most common bear in North America. It ranges from Florida all the way up to Canada. An adult male can reach 600 pounds. They're not always black in color. They can actually be pretty brown. Which leads us to another kind of bear, brown bears. There are several subspecies of brown bear, like Kodiak and grizzly. The brown bear can be found in Alaska, western Canada, and parts of Washington, Montana, and Wyoming. There are also individual populations scattered in parts of Europe and Asia. Now, brown bears are some of the largest bears in the world. The polar bear. I'm guessing a bunch of you were able to name that one. These bears are awesome. They're the world's largest bear. They're also the most dangerous. Of course, they live in the cold climates. Next up, the Asiatic black bear. So not the North American, but the Asiatic. And just like their name implies, they live in eastern parts of Asia. Next up, the spectacled bear. They get their name from their distinctive beige-colored marking across its face. And these bears live in South America. And who could forget the panda bear? Kung Fu Panda. Giant pandas are rare, endangered, and even elusive bears who live in China, and they feast on bamboo. Perhaps one of the most peculiar species of bear is the sloth bear. They've got a long, sticky tongue and sharp claws for digging. Sloth bears live in Sri Lanka, India, Bhutan, Nepal, and Bangladesh. And the final species, the 8th species, is called the sun bear. This is the smallest of all bears. Sun bears are native to Southeast Asia. So now that we've learned a little bit about the 8 species of bears in the world, let's read this book together where you'll see 5 of those, so look for them. God Gave Us the World by Lisa Tawn Bergren, illustrated by Laura J. Bryant. What a beautiful world we live in, Mama Bear said. Just look at all this snow. Little Cub looked around. We always have snow, Mama. Yes, but it's always different. Sometimes it's slushy, sometimes dry, shimmering sparkles drifting from the sky. But this is my favorite kind of snow. Big fat flakes you can catch on your tongue. Little Cub giggled when he saw Mama trying to catch flakes on her tongue. You look funny. Mama smiled and nudged her with her hip. You do too. I think you have the pinkest polar bear tongue I've ever seen. Ever? Ever? Do all bears have pink tongues? I don't know, Little Cub. God made a whole world full of bears. We all look a little different. He did? Why did he do that? Because God is creative. Just like he made all kinds of places to live, he made all kinds of different bears and all kinds of different bear tongues. Whoa, 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 Little Bear Cub said. There are other kinds of places to live? Well, sure, Mama said. While the pole is our home, lots of bears live in far different places. Why would they want to do that? Because they like their homes best. It's where God put them. God gave us this great big wide world and a whole bunch of different bears with different fur and different families. Where do those other bears live? I've never seen them. All around the world, Little Cub, some very far from here. Panda bears live in China. They eat bamboo. What's bamboo? It's a kind of tree. They eat trees for breakfast? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And there are sloth bears in India. They hang from trees and like to eat termites. Bugs? Ew! They think they're delicious. And they have the longest tongues you've ever seen, Mama said. Here we are. Grizzly bears live in America. They like to catch fish. Phew, Little Cub said. Finally, another bear who eats normal food. Mama smiled. Even though other bears eat what you might not like, we're all bears. God made us all. God made the world and everything in it. Why did he not make us all the same? We're not all the same on the inside, are we? Some of us are quiet, and others are loud. Some of us like to move fast, and others like to take their time. I think it's fun that God made us all bears, but all special too. Don't those other bears miss snow? Little Cub asked. Well, do you miss the sand of the desert or the big green leaves of the rainforest? We love what we know because it's home to us. Every bear has a special place in God's great big world. Well, why not put us all here? Why not make us all polar bears? Oh, there wouldn't be room here for all of us, and the world reflects God's work. How big, big, big He is! God can make anything, and if He's capable of anything, why would He make us all polar bears? The whole world is like a mirror of God's work, little cub. Out of all the places He could have put us, He chose this world, Earth, to be our home. He made it just for us. God gave us this special world and every creature in it. Why did He do that? Put us on Earth, I mean. Because He is your creator. Can you imagine your grandma not cooking something new? Or your grandpa not working on a new birdhouse in his shop? God created our world and everything in it because it's in His nature to create. Understanding that is part of why He put us here, to serve and worship Him, our amazing God, who gave us this amazing world. Do you remember when He created it? Mama laughed. Our world is older than anyone can remember. It's older than my great-grandmother's great-grandmother. Whoa, that's old. That's like huge old tree in the forest. Older. Ooh, must be very strong. Very strong. And yet fragile too. We have to take care of our world. It's God's gift to us. He'd be sad if we hurt it. God might get mad if we hurt our world, Little Cub said. I get mad when the twins hurt my stuff. Yes, I understand that, Mama said, picking her up. We don't want to make God mad or sad. We want Him to smile. We want to take care of this world He gives us. Do you think we'll ever meet the other bears? Maybe someday. It's a big world and constantly changing. It'd be fun to know more bears, wouldn't it? Maybe a panda would come on an iceberg and bring us some bamboo. Mama laughed. It's always good to make new friends, try new things, and know more about this world that God gave us. Little Cub went to sleep that night, thinking about the stars in the sky and her special world. She thought of other little bears falling to sleep in forests and caves and jungles, and she was glad that God had made her, little her, to be one of the bears in it. The end. Well, I'm so glad that you've joined me today to learn about bears in this wonderful world that God has given us. Thank you, and God bless you.